do we create better formed acceptance criteria for our features to make sure we get exactly what we intend to when we're actually creating the features in the first place? Hey friends, I'm Ahmed, a scaled Agile and productivity coach based in the UK. In this quick tips video series, I give you some really simple ideas that I wish I had when I was starting out. Ideas that can make the difference between having an amazing PI planning event and having just another PI planning event. So let's have a look and see 3 quick tips for feature acceptance criteria. So my first tip is, when we're putting together a feature acceptance criteria, is to think of it like a SMART goal. You remember SMART? We want our goals to be specific, we want them to be measurable, we want them to be achievable, we want them to be realistic, and we want them to be time-based. So when you're putting together your acceptance criteria, have that model in your mind to make sure it's specific, you can measure it, it is achievable within the time frame that you have. It's not just open-ended, it is realistic, and it's also time-bound as well. Your feature itself should be pretty time-bound, so hopefully you should be covered on that score as far as the acceptance criteria is concerned. The next thing I find is that when we are having problems putting together, if you ever have problems putting together, say, I'm not quite sure what the acceptance criteria for this feature should be, I want to give you a quick tip for that. So the first thing I'd say is that imagine that you are, I'm providing you with that feature, and I provide you with that feature and say, hey, we are done. Then ask yourself, what would you be checking to make sure that when I deliver that feature to you, that you are confident that that feature has delivered its intent? So one really useful statement that I like to use is, we are done when, and fill in the blanks. So we are done when this feature has this characteristic. We are done when this feature displays this attribute, or can perform this function, or looks like this. And then you can actually say, okay, you've achieved what the outcome for your feature actually is. And the last thing that I would say is that as far as acceptance criteria is concerned, when you're putting together your bullet points, have a think about what tests do you want to hang off those acceptance criteria against each acceptance criteria, because that can be really useful in making sure that you've got the acceptance criteria dialed in. Also, when you are walking that through with your testers, for example, then you'll be able to answer any questions that they might have as well. So let's have a look at a quick example for this. So over here we have got a feature over here, and you can see we've got the feature description. Under the acceptance criteria we are done when we can provide relevant information to support divorce cases, we can provide family law divorce cases since 1912, etc., etc. And you can see those over there. Now, some of you might argue that, for example, provide relevant information to support divorce cases, that might not be very specific, right? But remember, this is a feature. We will probably be adding more information at the next stage in the stories as well. So you want to make sure that it's specific enough so that you can get to the next stage, and then you might elaborate and more on the information that's required over there. So over here we know what kind of cases we wish to provide information on, and those are divorce cases, and we can see from the second criteria since when we need those. So collectively we can actually work out what we actually need, and in this way we can make sure that we achieve our success criteria. So I hope you find that useful, and this helps you with putting together better acceptance or success criteria for your features. Till I see you next time, take care and look forward to seeing you in the next video.